Good evening and welcome to the Activate program right here on 92.7 FM. Yeah, the Activate program is a youth program happening right here on 92.7 FM. That's 6 inspired change among the youth of Ghana. My name is Activate Sarah Hama, your host. Today's 10th of January 2021 and also a very beautiful Sunday evening. And right here in the studio I'm friend with myself, with to give you another interesting session of the Activity program here. Like we always do it, we promise to make it educative, inspiring, challenging, and that is make you stand up and do something better for yourself and your society. So today on the program, we have an award, a multiple award winning Ghanaian poet who has over the years performed for corporate, educational, political, religious, social and economic organizations. He's the founder of the biggest poetry event in Ghana, So Global Plus Chicken Poetry Show, with an audience base of about 5,000. In 2018, he represented the University of Ghana at the New York Mobile United Nations Conference. He has also made special appearances in Turkey, United States, Canada, and Singapore. He's currently a graduate student at the University of Ottawa in Canada. His poetry videos have reached across Africa into the rest of the world and have cumulatively across his social media platforms, that is Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, over 3 million views. In 2017 and 2018, Youth Rep Ghana awarded him Most Influential Student Poet in Ghana. And in 2017, the Commonwealth Hall of the University of Ghana awarded him the Most Creative Writer of the Year. He has made appearances on TV3 Ghana, GH1 TV, GTV Ghana, TV Africa, and Home Base TV. He has had several radio interviews with Mob Start Radio, Joy FM, CTFM, Radio Universe, Radio Tamale, Bishara Radio, and Justice FM, amongst others. This person is no other than Gombilla, popularly known as Gombilla the Poet. Welcome to the studio today.
Thank you very much for having me, and it's very exciting that this is my first interview after having stepped into Ghana a couple of weeks back. Yeah. So I'm humbled for this platform.
Okay, thank you very much. We are also very humbled to have you. A lot of people are waiting out just to hear your voice and also to listen to you. And like you have made your name synonymous with the poetry and have become a role model to thousands of people out there, many of which you can't even imagine. We are very privileged to have you here. But before we start with everything, I just want to come for you to, because we know you a lot out there, but I believe there are a lot more things that we don't also know. I just want you to start by telling us about your background. I mean, a little bit about how you started.
Thank you very much. I want to say a very big thank you to you, and also to say a very good evening to your cherished listeners. I'm very humbled to be here. Yeah, so I mean, with what people know me for, I'm a spoken word artist and a poet, and my poems, seek to inspire, to educate, and entertain. I'm sorry, seeks to entertain, educate, inform, and entertain. And my poems seek to bring about social change and to also inspire people to greater heights. And so whenever I put out poems out there, I seek to make sure they achieve those things. And my life is a representation of inspiration, of motivation, and possibilities. So that's basically who I am with regards to what I'm recognized for as a spoken word artist.
Okay, so aside that, I want to know more about your background and your upbringing.
So yeah, so I was born here in Tamale,
okay.
And then at age 6, my parents took me to a boarding school in the Volta region of Ghana, where I was in a boarding school for a couple of years, and then went to Datus Complex School, and then that was where I started to develop my potential of speaking in public. And so when I got to junior high school, I was asked to represent my school in a poetry recital competition at Tema TDC Clubhouse, where I was supposed to write a poem and perform a poem on abstinence, be faithful, condom use, ABC, right? So when I got to the place, I was gonna recite my poem, and then I forgot all my lines, you know. So I was reciting and I couldn't remember a thing, and so that was like a wake up call to me. But by then, I didn't discover myself, you know, as a poet or as a creative writer. It was, I mean, the poem was written for me by my cousin as at that time, and so yeah, so I went there. Everybody had their turn. They performed incredibly well, and then it got to my turn, and then I forgot all my lines, right? And everybody was like, I was standing there for like over 2 minutes, just saying abstinence, 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 and everybody started clapping, back, 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 away, back, 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 away. So that day I was very, you know, I was depressed and I was sad, you know. So when I went back to campus, I had to do something that would help me regain my image, right? I was very, you know, I mean, I was down spirited, you know, and I mean, luckily too, during that period, there was, I mean, they needed prefect, you know, they needed students to stand up to leadership positions, and so I mean, I stepped up because I felt that I needed an opportunity to regain my image and to also get an opportunity to continually sharpen and develop my speaking ability, so that when I get on a platform, I'm able to express myself to the best of my ability. And so I took that opportunity up. I mean, I contested for senior boys prefect.
At what age was that?
That was around, I was, I think, 17, 18.
Okay.
Yeah, at Datus Complex School in Tema. And so I contested and I was reading my manifesto. I was shaking like a leaf, like a leaf. You know, so after that episode, I mean, the students voted for me and I became school prefect. And so from then, I started, you know, moving from class to class, speaking to the students when they didn't have any teacher available. And then during assembly, I seized the opportunity to speak. And then I also made sure that when in my class, when teachers were not there, I came in front of the class, and then I taught my colleagues, you know, things that, I mean, I understood, right? So that was what I was doing to build my confidence and to also to build, you know, my public speaking ability, right? And so that was, I mean, the discovery for me. And then I moved to TI Ahmadiyya in Kumasi, where I had countless opportunities to, you know, to perform at assembly and to do certain things, you know. And so I started building that confidence and that, you know, ability, I consolidated the gains in TI Kumasi, and then, I mean, yeah, so that's it.
Okay, so with the point on condoms and abstinence, it was written for you. That wasn't your first point.
Yeah, that
so
was.
At what age did you write your first poem?
So
can you tell us about it?
So this is the story. There's a story behind it.
Okay.
So I told you in high school, there was a time our entertainment prefect came to the class and they said he needed us to write, and those who wanted to, you know, to act out, right, a particular talent they are comfortable with, they should come and write their names. It was like, I don't know how to call, I've forgotten how to call it, you know, right? So I went to write my name. I opted to act like a politician. So I went, I mean, the day came, I went on stage. I was, you know, trying to imitate a certain, a figure of one of the leading political parties in Ghana, which I'm not going to mention the name, however, right? So I was doing it, and then I was just saying, I started, and the entertainment prefect thought that I was there to like ridicule a certain political party, and so, I mean, he disconnected my system, and the students were not hearing what I was saying, and so they started clapping again, away. Mm-hmm. So I went to the class, I was crying, and then that day I said I was going to redeem my image again. So that was the day I wrote a very inspiring poem, but unfortunately I can't even remember the poem. And on Monday I went to see the boys prefect that I wanted to, you know, to perform a poem, and I went on stage, I performed. And from that day, I mean, I started getting regular feature on assembly to speak to the students, to perform, and I started building that confidence. And at that level too, because of that experience, I was made the boys prefect again in senior high school, and then I represented TI Ahmadiyya in a poetry recital competition, and I came out as the best male poet in the whole of Ashanti region. Okay. And I mean, after that, I won certain, you know, awards for the school, And before I left the school, I had a compilation of most of my writings, and then I published the book. Probably the first student to publish a book before, leaving high school. That was in Tia.
I think I remember that.
Exactly. And then, I was also awarded the most influential student leader in Ashanti region, right? During that time. And so I built that confidence and that zeal. And I built them because I faced certain hurdles that gave me the opportunity to learn and to become better, and to correct the mistakes I did. And went to University of Ghana, used to move from lecture hall to perform, moved to room to perform. And I made sure that every program on campus I was featured on it, because I went there with the mentality I was going to make poetry an acceptable art in Ghana. And so I might not have achieved 800%, but I was able to make it poetry a very lively form of art on the University of Ghana campus and across some parts of Ghana, and I'm happy that I was able to inspire a lot of young people to take poetry very seriously and to be able to use their potentials to express themselves and to be the change that they wish to see in the world in which they find themselves.
Wow. I actually don't like when you said you put it in the past tense. I think you still inspired a lot of people.
Because the question you asked me was more of like how I started. So I was just trying to go back into the past.
But in your response, you keep mentioning redeem my image.
Yes.
How important is that?
How important is that?
A lot of people are listening. People, I don't know, seeing it that way, that something bad happens and you think you need to, make the turn again, make people see you originally how they use it, or even much more better than that. A lot of people don't think that way. Is it that important? And what do you have to tell people out there in relation to that?
It's important because when I'm with myself, I know I can do it, right? And I convince myself that I can do it. So if I can convince myself I can do it, I should be able to convince people that I can do it. And so if I go out there convincing myself that I can do it, I go out there and I'm not able to do it, I have to give myself the chance to try again and not to discourage myself just because I failed the first time. I have to keep telling myself I can do it and go out there to prove that I can do it, no matter how many times it will take me. So that was, my motivation and my focus.
I hope you can hear us when you feel that's not the end. You still have a lot more opportunities to prove that you can do it. You can even do much better.
Sure.
Thank you very much, Gombilla, the poet. I have a question. It looks like everything was in school, from junior high school to tertiary, senior high school to the university. I have a lot of poets who are not in school. I just want to know what's being in school adding up something, and what would you advise young poets who are no longer in school to do to also help them go further? Because I think the school we did
helped me.
Yeah, helped you.
Yeah. So the thing is, initial motivation is that my dad never had opportunity to further his education as much as he would want to, and so I've always had it at the back of my mind that I needed to achieve the things that he was not able to achieve in terms of academic and stuff like that. That's first. And secondly, school offered me the opportunity it offered me the playground to express myself.
Yeah.
It offered it's a miniature of the world, and so it offered me the opportunity to make the mistakes I needed to make, to learn and to improve, so that when I get into the bigger society, I'll be able to function to the best of my abilities. And so I used school as an opportunity to rehearse, to become better, and that's why I keep mentioning school and people. We have students, right? You have your colleagues that you can express yourself to, and if they think that things are not going on well, they can point one or two things to you. You meet mentors, teachers, and staff who can guide you onto the right path. And so school is very important because it offers you, and as much as it is an opportunity for you to achieve academic excellence, it's also an opportunity for you to grow as a person, mentally, physically, emotionally, and even talent wise, right? And stuff like that. I mean, even when I was in TMAS, I used to wake up around 12:01 to go to the school field just to build upon my public speaking skills. I used to talk. So sometimes, I mean, the students used to think that about I'm going mad and stuff like that, So, and I mean, then I was the voice prefect, and so I could do anything. I could leverage on that to perfect my skills, right? And nobody would come and harass me.
So, a lot of young people, I know a lot of young poets here. They've not had the opportunity, to begin the poetry career. So looking at the big environment, trying to, like you said, you use school to build yourself for a career. What advice do you have for them since they're already out there and trying to make it in poetry?
Could you ask the question?
You're not in school.
Okay.
Like you had the opportunity to actually use school to build yourself better. Before you came out into the bigger environment. I'm saying that these people didn't have the opportunity to begin a poetry career in school. It all started after school, and now they're already out there. What advice do you have to help them also? Despite the environment, to be able to make it much more better, or build themselves.
Social media.
Okay.
Social media, because you have different people from different schools. You have different people. Across board. And one thing I always tell people is that you don't need to have a very expensive camera to shoot a video. Once you have your camera phone, you have your poem. You can just memorize it. Get somebody to hold the phone, record you reciting your poem, put it out there. It might be 5 people that will watch it. It might be 10 people. 10 people will watch it, or if they like it, even 1 person or 2 people will share it. Their friends will see it that way. You build that cumulative, audience base. And apart from that, you need to be consistent, right? When you're consistent, and you use a lot of hashtags when you're putting your content out there, right? Because when you use hashtag, it makes it, visible for people in different parts of the world, right? And that way you grow, and it takes time, and you need to gather that, that base, because you are not going to appeal to everybody, right? So at the end of the day, you need to be able to use your platform, your social media platforms, to be able to grow yourself. And it's going to take time. It might take 5 years, it might take 6 years to build that solid foundation. However, you need to start, because at the end of the day, if you don't start, right, you say, oh, it's going to take me 6 years to build that base, then I'll just, give up, right? The 6 years is going to come, right? Whether you do the poetry, you put it out there, or you don't put it, it's going to come. So why don't you just do it,
Okay, thank you very much. Okay. I think right now I have to give you the chance to call in if you have any questions for Gombilla, if you have any contributions to the discussion. So the call on is 037-202-2261, 037-202-2261. If you have any questions, if you have any contributions to add to the discussion, currently with multiple award-winning poet, Gombilla the poet, you can call me through 037-202-2261. I also just want to remind you that we live on Facebook on the Activate page, so you can go to Facebook and watch us live. But Gombilla, let's go back to our questions. I want to know if you faced any challenges pursuing your poetry ambition. How did you overcome them?
like I told you, the challenges are, they are just, they are normal, right? They're just part of whatever you're gonna do. No matter what you do, whether you are the best of best in the field, you find yourself or not, you're still gonna face challenges, right? And what people call challenges, I see them as an opportunity to grow, right? If it's difficult for me to get people to listen to my poetry, it's an opportunity for me to ask myself, what would people listen to? What kind of poems should I write for people to listen to? How do I grab people's attention?
Because if they don't listen to
exactly
you, they listen
to someone else. So that's an opportunity for me to ask questions and to grow and to tailor poems that would appeal right? And if it's about not getting the opportunity to perform on TV or maybe on radio, what can I do with what I have? Social media, you can put it out there, right? It's an opportunity. You ask yourself questions: how can you grow, and how can you transform your talent and make it marketable, right? And there are many platforms across the world that you can take advantage of and make your craft reach different corners of the world. If it's money, I mean, you don't need money. I mean, money is important, but if you don't have money, you can still do something. Like I said earlier, take your phone, record yourself, put it out there, tag your friends, share it, ask them to share it. So all these various layers where you find challenges, you can actually ask yourself what you can do, and then look for opportunities.
Hello. 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 Yeah, good evening. Your name and where reaching us from? Okay, Ryan, welcome to the program.
I don't have much to say, but I just want to comment Gombilla the poet for his great work over the years. He's one of my favorite poets in Ghana, and I like his poems a lot. But then I want to tell him that he should release a new poem, because I've been listening to the old ones, and they are really interesting. But I just want him to release another poem.
Okay, Rana, thank you very much. Gombilla has heard you, right? You can respond to that.
Yeah.
Rana wants you to release another poem.
I release poems almost every month, and it's on my Instagram page, and then on my Facebook page. I mean, just go to Instagram, search for Gombilla the Poet. You see my videos there, and then on my Facebook page, Gombilla the Poet too. You see my videos, because sometimes the way the algorithm works, you can put something out there and not everybody will see it, right? So yeah, I think I do put new stuff out there. I'm sure if you follow my platforms, you'll be able to have access to them. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for calling in. You can also still call us. A call in is 037 202 3261 037 202 3261. You can send me text message 2024 2691 024 2691 I think I'm lost talking to called in.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about how I don't put undue pressure on myself, and it's all about creativity. It's all about creative juice, right? You should be able to write. I mean, when you are hit deep down your heart and your soul. I mean, but sometimes you are commissioned to perform at a corporate event, or and you are asked to write a poem or to tailor your poem to maybe the issue at hand, right? That way you have to think, you have to think and write it. Like, I mean, it's still creative work, but you are limited. You are put in a box. Like, this is what you have to do, because that's where you're gonna make money from, right? Exactly. But at the end, but the ones that you write at your leisure time, and put out, that they are more emotional, and they are more they are from the deepest recesses of your heart and your mind and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. But we want to find out if you consider yourself a career poet.
A career poet?
Yes.
What do you mean by career poet?
Do you consider yourself as like, I mean, do you really,
poetry as a career?
Yeah, do you consider poetry as a career for you?
For me,
it's just something you've done.
So poetry is part of my life. Like, I live poetry, I dream poetry, right? No matter where I find myself in this life, poetry is always going to be a part of me, right? And it manifests in different forms, right? Depending on where I'm doing it or what I'm doing it for, right? But at this point in my life, I do it. I mean, because I'm currently pursuing my graduate studies, right? And I do it for the fun of it, right? Not as a strict career, path, yeah. But it's part of my engagement, right? It's part of my life and stuff like that, But to say like strictly like it's just 100% poetry, I mean, I don't think it is the case. It's not 100% poetry, Poetry is part of me, but it's not 100% poetry. Like pursuing poetry like full time, Poetry is not a full time thing for me. It's a hobby, right? Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. But I think this is a follow-up question. Do you consider, or has poetry informed your career path, especially the course you are currently studying in grad school? Has poetry in any way informed that?
Well, it depends on where you want to look at it from, right? Because I feel different paths help you to influence people in different ways.
Can we know what you're currently studying?
I'm studying public policy and international affairs. So it's basically how we can make policy, how we can solve the problems of society. How we can advise governments to decide on what decisions they should make in terms of policy and in terms of improving the lives of the ordinary citizens. And I mean, it's also a bit of international relations and stuff like that. So it offers you the opportunity to to become a policy analyst and I mean to groom yourself to advise government and organizations that are into developing human endeavors and growth. Yeah. So basically that's it. And so I mean it's in a way because my poetry informs impacting lives and changing lives, inspiring and helping people to have confidence in themselves, helping them solve the challenges they face. And so I see that I mean in a way it's related because when you go to the policy field, it's all about solving problems of society, helping people live the best lives they wish to live. And so I think in a way it has influenced it to a certain height.
Okay, thank you very much. But what course did you read at the university level?
University of Ghana. My undergrad, I studied political science.
Okay.
Political science, yeah.
But currently you're among the best poets in Ghana.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know that.
You don't know that?
Yeah.
So I'm telling you that.
Well,
Okay, so I want to find out if that popularity has in any way got into your head. Just one time. I mean, and how did you handle that?
got into my head. I mean, like I don't really think about it. Like I just I mean if you ask people who know me, who are around me, I don't really care about. I mean, I just live my life the way I want to live it. I don't care. I mean, I don't care. Like I just do it because at the end of the day, I mean, this is life. We don't take it anywhere. You just need to be humble and and live the best of your life. You don't limit yourself because you think people know you and stuff like that. I mean, live the best of your life, irrespective of whatever it is. So I don't really let it get into my head. I don't really care. I don't care.
But do you really encounter that thing that you go somewhere and
people?
This is Gombilla.
Yeah. I mean, I encounter that a lot. But like I said, I mean, I guess it's part of it. I mean, it's part of what you do, right? It makes people appreciate you, and it's all about people. It is people are holding you down, and so you need to respect the fact that people recognize what you do, and that should be the goal. It's not about the fact that people recognize you, and so you need to walk a certain way or behave a certain way. You need to appreciate that people love you, and then be humble, because it's all about people. People matter. If people don't matter, you don't matter.
Yeah. Okay, thank you so much. That's really very inspiring. But I want to know more about the soup and last chicken.
Yeah.
Well, I was there.
You were there, right?
Yeah. It was interesting. I had a really big encounter with my best friend. We came together. We were still little.
when you're about saying the best friend, you didn't know whether you should say something else or you should say best friend.
Yeah, best friend.
Anyway, let's take it out.
Since then, we've not heard anything. Should we expect something much bigger?
Yeah, I mean, you didn't hear anything because I told you, like I said, I mean, I need to develop my life in different angles, right? Because at the end of the day, if I should be able to build capacity, there is much the human mind can achieve and do, right? I'm somebody who doesn't limit my potentials to just one thing. I want to explore, expand, and grow, right? And so I found myself, in graduate school trying to expand my horizon and to build education, a solid education and stuff like that. And so I had to abandon, that aspect of my life and then focus on building another aspect, that's academia, right? Exactly. And so it makes it good because at the end of the day you're combining poetry with academia, and the two is going to, I mean, it's just like wind and fire, they support each other and you blossom in the bosom of wholesomeness.
Okay, I'm sure with time we will hear about that'll be a surprise.
Yeah, we build a brand, so I mean, anytime we come out to say we're going to organize Sobel and Chick, and we've given people value for their money. That was our foremost,
So all those things were considered before.
Yeah, value for money. We value for money, and when you give people value for money, they value what you give them, right? And at the end of the day, you value their money, they value your content. And when people value your content, they would be willing to, to spend just to have that content. And so we have built a solid brand, and any time that we are ready to set forth, Sobel and Chicken, we are hopeful and we believe that people will remember the value we gave them, and they will patronize us, beyond our wildest imagination.
Yeah, I think it's one of the events that we can, if you were part of it or you were there when Sobel Plus Chicken Poetry Show was, I mean, you won't forget that there was actually an event like that. So I think that's very good. But at this point, at any point, any lines you want to do that?
Yeah.
Because young people are listening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything for us?
Our screams were collected into bottles of schnapps to bellyful our chiefs into psychological distortion. During their drunken stupor, stories were told that even the toothless child knew that the light of civilization dawned from Africa. At a time, the world was drenched in darkness until the old pages of history faded our stories into oceans of deceptive and perceptive nature, where our achievements were characterized as worthless, and that we never at any slide in history contribute to the human race. The voices of our people got lost amongst the tumult of voices echoed from the whip of slave masters. Our beautiful women with dangling rhythms of their backsides at the slightest movement of their bodies got the white man attracted, and so their pride was arrested, bundled and shipped away into unknown lands of thirst, then saw the birth of mulattoes. From east to west, from north to south, a breeze gathered to wake a country from the slumber of colonialism into a realm of freedom. Then our young crown cried further to wake a new nation, Ghana. Surprisingly, the crow of Ndewura Jacques cock never sounded as usual in our ears. Rather, a heavy storm from the voice of our founding fathers saying, Ghana, your beloved country is free forever. On that day of freedom, multitudes danced, sang, and whined away their worries into sleep when Dr. Ephraim Amu brought out his attentive pen to blow songful melodies to greet the arrival of a new nation, Ghana. This inspired Philip Beho to sing from the depth of his heart a song with God tears rolling down the cheek onto our land to nurture our agriculture to become a backbone when Tete Kwashi came out to show to the new nation a seed of life hidden in cocoa. What men can do, women can do too, and there came Miss Theodosia Oko with her flag, red, gold, green, and black stars rising into the sky to flutter serenely from lamppost to the glory of Philip Beho's God bless our homeland, Ghana. On that day of freedom, Fabrics of Ghanaian societies intertwined to form loops of a united people submerged in kente and smoke together, devoid of tribalism. We bid the white men and women farewell as they took bag and baggage, kith and kin from our land of gold and rooted to their world of splendor built from our sweat. But throughout all these years, we may want to search into areas that soiled our white garments, to purge our nation of all stains, to rebuild her focus towards economic liberation. Our systems may have some challenges, yet our passion and determination will clear the path to our destiny for salvation. We must know that our survival will only be assured by the consolidation of our dreams in our past while acting on them today. Songs of our infant voices, as shrill and thin as they may sound, must not be used in throwing tantrums for sorrow to give in to despair. Our green perception must not halt our quest to unlocking our national potentials, to overflow joyousness into the very recesses of our near resignation towards a better tomorrow. And so, when you journey into time searching for respite from a distant land and find a soft spot to breathe the bounty of life when everything falls right where your mind placed it, please don't forget to transfer that bounty of greatness of experience into Ghana's scheme of affairs to help build this country beyond aid into a Ghana whose prosperity will transcend generations. Let's build a cathedral of hopeful dreams. Together we can gather the pieces of our lost glories into making for ourselves a country of endless possibilities. After all, home was where the story began. Home is where dreams are made possible. Home is where we can find our broken hearts and mend them to make us whole again. We may move on into other areas of the world in search of all we ever wanted, but home will receive us with a hand that softens the pain of going through life elsewhere. It was true when F. Scott Gerard said, "The best journey takes you home. Life takes you unexpected places. Love brings you home. Chase your dreams, but always know the road that will lead you home again." Peace.
Wow. Wow. Governor, do you have all your points in your head?
Yeah, I have my poems in my head, but I prefer to read them so that I can be precise, because I went to school and I mean they're kind of rusty in my mind, so I just want to make sure that I'm accurate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That was very, very inspiring. Activate, if you listen, this is the Activate program right here on the Chief Pacific FM. We're currently the multi-award winning Ghanaian poet, Gombilla the poet. You can also still call us. The call line is 037-202-3261, 037-202-3261. If you have any questions for Gombilla or any contributions to the program, call us or send me a text message to 024-269-1461, 024-269-1461, or call through 037-202-3261, 037-202-3261. Gombilla, I was very happy to hear that you grew up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, growing up here, that means you know a lot about what happens here. I mean, you know everything that happens here. You know the challenges we face as young people, and generally as people of Tamale. And just recently there was an election. Even though we had a peaceful election, we had a really peaceful election. There are still some few things that is making things not go normal because of. Yeah, so I just wanted to generally talk to the people of Tamale as a young person who has been here for a long time, even though you traveled and you just came back. You've been here for days, you've observed things.
Yeah.
Generally, what you have observed, what would you tell the young people listening to us today?
So, I mean, at the end of the day, democracy is all about ideas. It's all about the will of the people. It's all about ensuring that institutions work, right? And it is normal for people to disagree and disregard outcomes of elections. And this disagreement should not be shrouded in violence and stuff like that. I mean, we can all disagree, but however, I'm appealing that we should all use the available democratic structures and operate within these structures, because Ghana is one of the most stable democracies in the world. And I mean, as a beacon of democracy and hope in Africa, we need to be able to live up to that expectation. And I mean, it is normal that when you have a keenly contested election, there would be pockets of violence. However, I mean, we should not let these violence act to to degenerate and become widespread, right? Like we saw in Kenya, we saw in Zimbabwe, and other African countries. And so I'm proud that Ghana is. I mean, Ghana. I mean, I always say this, that Ghana, we talk a lot and we shout a lot, but when push comes to shove, we reflect and we know that Ghana is bigger than anybody, and Ghana is where we can thrive, and the responsibility of maintaining our democracy and maintaining the development of our country is one that is in our hands, and we have to make sure that as young people we protect it, because if we destroy this country, we are going to live with the consequences. I mean, the people you are fighting for, they are 60 years, some of them are 60 years and above, and maybe 20 years from now, 30 years from now, they might not be with you. You will be here, and so whatever you plunge this country into, whatever violence that you shroud this country into, you will live with the consequences, young people. And so I'm appealing to young people to be circumspect, to allow the necessary democratic procedures to work, and to to make sure that our democracy is tested, and I mean it's able to live to the test of time and be able to thrive and continue to give us that that reputation as the beacon of peace and democracy in Africa. And I'm appealing to young people to be patient. I mean, and I'm happy that right now I mean disagreements have been taken to court, and we are taken to the right channels, and that is very great. That shows that's a behavior that shows that the behavior of our political elite are in conjunction with the need to maintain our democratic structures. We look at the behavior. What has been the behavior over the years? The behavior has been that we've had peaceful transfer of power. We've had three peaceful transfer of powers. We have had about 8 elections, and these elections have led to very great outcomes and have consolidated our democracy to an extent, right? And so I believe that behaviorally our political elite have adhered to to most of the principles that are set out by our constitution. Though I mean we have skirmishes here and there, but at the end of the day, I mean things get better as days go by, because the institutions are allowed to work and we can make them better. The day you stop building your democracy is the day you go back into the reverse wave. That's
hello. Yeah, good evening. Your name and where you from? Yeah, your name and where you from? Okay, yeah, welcome to the program. What do you have to add?
Inspirational poetry for a long time now, and I must say that she delivers it so well in an admirable way, and I think it does orders well for his future in poetry and the political party he chose to mention too. I wish him well. Okay,
yeah, thank you very much for calling in. Yeah, you can also still call us. We have some few minutes left. 037-202-3261, 037-202-3261. Or send me a text message to 024-269-1461. At this point, I'd like to read the text I have. Yeah, so this is from, he says, I'm Ibad from Senate Flats. Please tell Gombilla I love his works, and he's the main person who inspires me to do poetry. Tell Gombilla the guy who once asked if he could represent Gombilla whenever he isn't around is still with him. I don't know if Gombilla remembers this person, but this is from Ibad from Senate Flats. Thank you very much for the text. I think Raha was able to view your poems on social media. She's saying the poems on social media is very interesting.
Oh, thank you very much.
I think Gombilla was talking.
Yeah, I was talking about, I mean, our democracy. I was talking about how, I mean, how we should allow our institutions to work. And these things that are happening are a test of the institutions we have built over the years. And I said that the day we stop building our democratic credential, democracy is not an autopilot. It has to be deliberately built and then improved upon. And I think that all these challenges that we have faced over the few weeks after the election have proven that Ghana is on its way to building a consolidated democracy. And I believe that I don't look at the few skirmishes here and then judge the whole process of democratic consolidation in Ghana. I look at the behavior, people who can. I look at the bigger picture, right? The things that we've gotten right, and the behavior. What is the behavior of the elite? What are they doing? What should they do? Do they believe in democracy? Yes, they do, right? Like I said, I narrated, we have had 3 transfer of powers. We have had 8 successful elections, and at some point in time they've built some kind of understanding among themselves. If you look at the election of the speaker and all of that, this shows that we are maturing as a democracy. Though there were 1 or 2 issues in parliament that did not represent our ideals better, but I want to look at the positive side of it. At the end of the day, things went smoothly, and the outcome, right? We look at the outcome, not the process leading to the outcome, but what's the outcome? A decision that everybody's comfortable. Though I'm not trying to belittle what happened in Parliament. It was very preposterous. However, we should not limit it to that. We should look at the outcome. How good is it for our democracy, and how can it improve us? And I'm looking at the people too, the attitude in our part of our democratic maturity or maturation, right? Let's look at the attitude. Look at the number of people who came out to register to vote.
Hello. Hello. Good evening, Miss Adam. Happy New Year. Welcome to the program today.
Happy New Year to your guests.
Happy New Year.
In fact, I really got into your program very late. I don't know what you're still. I've just only heard something about our democracy has been strengthened by our getting the speaker. I don't know whether I can go on that tangent.
Okay, Miss Adam. Hello, Miss Adam. Miss Adam. Hello. Yeah. So today we have a point. Hello, Miss Adam. Miss Adam, can you hear me? Mr. Adam. Okay, I'm saying that what you hear is right, but we have a point in the studio today. We are exploring him, trying to know him better, and trying to also, get to learn from his ways and also better our ways as young people. Yeah, that's Gombilla.
I think you should aspire and get to Atuku Okai, who is my best poetry tool. If it is that one alone, I will only wish him well, and then hope that he will get to his pinnacle. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Adam. Thank you very much for calling. Yeah, we have some few minutes, maybe you be the lucky one. Last caller, call on 037 202 3261 037 202 3261. Yeah, I think just come to. We were both saying something.
Yeah, I was just about to learn. I'm saying that we have done well as a people. We went out to register, and then
hello?
We came out.
Yeah, hello. Hello. Yeah, good evening. Please, the name of where you're from. Hello. Yeah, your name and where you're from. Yeah, please, your name and where you're from. It's okay. It's me, the point. You're welcome to this program. What do you have to add?
He's always been an inspiration to me, and I can say that he's the number one person who inspired me to start poetry. So with everything, I'm just to follow his right path, what he's doing and everything. So I just want to tell him that he should keep on inspiring me, and I'm proud of him, and I wish to make him proud. That's what I want to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ismuk is a young poet. I don't know if Gombilla knows him.
Yeah,
He's
no,
part
it's
of
cool.
the Not Got Talent competition. Doing very well. He said he's looking up to you. So you should keep doing your best so that he will always have the strength to also continue. Thank you very much for calling in, Ismuk. Gombilla.
Yeah, so I mean, we're all doing well as a people. I mean, and we should continue that. And I think that when we continue respecting our institutions and allowing the institutions to work, our democracy will grow, and it's going to be good for everyone. And that's the message I have for the young people out there.
Okay, but the last question I'll ask you is the word of advice to numerous young budding poets out there, especially poetic time. What is the last word you have for Ismuk?
Just, I mean, I think what I'm going to say, it sounds very corny, and I mean, we've been saying it over and over. Just believe in yourself. I mean, but they say common sense is not common practice, right? We know what to do, but sometimes we don't get ourselves to do it. So I'm going to say it again: believe in yourself, right? Believe in yourself. I mean, it has been said many times. However, how many of us practice believing in ourselves? So I'm going to continue to say it. Believe in yourself, and always kill the negative thought in your mind, because most of the times the person you have the most conversation with is yourself every single day, and most of the thoughts you have, sometimes consciously or unconsciously, are negative. But you should be able to to detect the negative ones. Whenever they come, you try to turn it into positive affirmations and try to encourage yourself. For instance, when sometimes I'm there and then some negative thought come to my mind, like, I can do this, I'm like, no, I can do it. If people are doing, I can do it. I mean, okay, what will it take me to do it? Maybe I have to read about it, learn how to do it. I mean, there is nothing you can do if you want to do it, right? And I also have this principle that there is nothing I can't know, or there's nothing I cannot learn if I make my mind to learn it. I can learn anything if I make up my mind to learn whatever I want to learn. It's just about making time, sitting down and learning it. There's nothing you can learn if you want to learn it. So you should be curious, you should go out there, explore. When you talk, having conversation with your friend, they say things that you don't understand. Make sure that when you have time, you go and look out for it. What are they saying? What is it? I mean, and stuff like that. Those things help you grow. You might not see it, but cumulatively, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, you're accumulating a certain understanding and knowledge that would be useful, to you in years to come. And I want to say one thing I've heard from many friends, that there are no jobs. I mean, I've come down university, there are no jobs. It's hard, I know. But if you ask them, how many jobs applications have you submitted? How many? Some of them have not even submitted up to 5 or even 4. Right? They do it, and then because of the fear of rejection, and they feel that somebody has to hold their hands, they don't do it. But trust me, if you apply for 50 jobs, like you apply for 50 jobs or 100 jobs, it's hard though. I'm not saying it's easy, it's hard. Right? If you apply for 100 jobs, trust me, you're going to get 1 or 2. But you don't just apply for 2 or 3 and then sit down there and say there are no jobs. That's one perception I want to disabuse many young people of. It's hard, I know, but it's better than just sitting in your house and waiting for some politician to come and hold your hand. That you are sitting in your house, I mean, WhatsApping and Facebooking. What are you doing? It's not better to use that time to watch YouTube videos on how to apply for jobs. How to improve your CV, how to improve your cover letter, what companies can I apply to, let me create a LinkedIn account. You can use that time to look for these opportunities to make yourself better. It's better than just staying on Facebook, WhatsApping and waiting for some politician to come and hold your hand and give you a job. That's our problem. And I think that if you're able to fix it, things would improve,
Okay, thank you so much. Gombilla the points. It's been interesting having you, and so much has been learned. I believe my active colleague out there has also learned so much from me. Ismoke and other poets in the northern region who are listening to us have equally learned something that will help make them better poets. Okay, yeah, so I saw the acting program right here on Donning to the Cinepharm. We just had a discussion with Gombilla the poet, a multi-award winning poet in Ghana. Generally, it was interesting, but a few things I want to share. I mean, one thing I actually like someone was redeeming your image. I mean, it's so of me. I mean, some people wouldn't want to mind that, but it's very good. I think Gombilla has said too, and I think if you still cannot see that, you should embrace that as well and practice it. It will really help. And one thing he also said is to believe in yourself. Like he said, it's very, very difficult to practice. That's one of the good things that we preach out there. But believe in yourself, and we should kill the negative thoughts in our mind. Let's always try to see the negatives as positive. That's the only way we can actually get to, benefit from them or get to do greater things. One thing is an active program. So much was said, and I won't be able to tell you everything that happened here. I just wanted to know that if you just joined us and you couldn't have you couldn't join us at the beginning, you have the opportunity to listen to the whole session on our Facebook page and the active. You just go to Facebook, type active. I think Gombilla too is recording, and you can actually find it too on his page. And remember to follow, like it, and you will find or you see more of his poems and other relevant information that will help you as a young person, not only as a young poet, but as an ambitious young person. So generally, this was what happened here. We had time with Gombilla the poet, and the key thing here is to believe in yourself, keep dreaming, and keep working hard. Like you said, utilize your time properly. Social media is a very important resource we all have. Everyone is on social media. It is how you use it. And with the issue of application, I'm very lazy. People don't apply because they're very lazy to write it.
Exactly.
I've had a lot of people confess this. You ask for long cases, it's not easy, but what you want makes it worth it. Yeah, so you just have to, make that sacrifice and then be able to do, because people have done it. People have submitted more than 10. Okay.
Yeah, not to cut you, but one thing is, listen, you don't need to know how to do something. Like, just a simple Google of how to write an application. Simple Google could bring a lot of suggestions for you, and you can just follow the format how they've done it, and then you do you tailor your own to that. YouTube videos, like, you don't need to know it in school. You can learn it as you go. Just Google. Like, we should normalize using Google. And I realized that, let me confess, I used not to like using Google a lot, but when I went to school outside, I realized that each time we had group discussions, and as group assignments and things like that, my colleagues, the white guys, if you don't understand something simple, they just Google. So I've learned to use Google a lot, and I realized that most of us we don't like using Google, right? Meanwhile, Google is available for us. So when you don't understand how to do something, ask Google. When you don't know how to do something, ask YouTube. Go to YouTube. Like, anything. Like, there is abundance of information out there, right? You can know if you want to know. Like, I can't emphasize this enough.
Okay, so you can know if you really want to know. Let's make very good use of Google and the social media as well. Once again, it was the activity program. We had time with Gombilla Points. My name is Activity Sarah Hammer. See you all next week. Bye.